Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M53 M55. It's the Tier 9 American SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Halluf, and it's under the command of StuInTokyo. And he has the improved rammer, improved vents, and the improved gun lane drive. Game on! Well, he does have quite a lot of achievements marked on the vehicle as well, or at least one achievement right on the front on the engine deck. Yep, because the engine's up front in this Arty. And this Arty is the M53. That's the 155mm gun. How do I know? Well, because the gun extends over the front of the vehicle, the 8-inch howitzer won't do that on the M55. And so we know that's a 155mm gun. Okay, fires his first shot at the Halluf. Now it's capable of doing 600 alpha and 39mm of pen. It's also got a 7.2 meters burst radius between 11.5 and 23 seconds of stun. It's much more like the 155mm howitzers you find on the French Arty. Now, it does have a reload by the book of 26.85 seconds. So it is fast, but we can see here that StuInTokyo has got a reload time of 22.27 seconds. So he's actually knocked at least 4 seconds off that reload. And you can see Stu has also got a maple leaf on the side of his turret. Yep, he's Canadian. 1 mark of excellence on the barrel so far, but he will get more. He's actually got 3 mastery marks on the front of the engine deck. So he's definitely moving up. Now, some people like the 155mm gun, not only because it fires fast, but it's also fairly accurate as well. That one was close, but not a direct hit. Yeah, they can pump out a lot of shots with the 155, more than they can pump out with the 8-inch howitzer, the 203mm. Plus, you get more ammunition with this one. You don't get as many shells with the 203mm. You only get 20 rounds on with that one. You get much more with this one. 40 rounds, if I remember correctly. Okay, he's loaded, but no viable shot on that T100. He fires around in, hoping... Oh, he gets a direct hit! Very well shot. And he got some stun assist off that one as well. Now, the M53, M55, made out of a patent tank, was actually in service between 1952 to 1960. Had a crew of 6 and was bought by quite a few different countries. Chief amongst those was the United States, Belgium, Turkey, Spain, West Germany, and Taiwan. It does have a wide firing arc, thanks to the fact that it's got a turret which is shoots 30 degrees either side of the center line, 60 degrees in total. It's also got good speed. It can do 56.3 kilometers an hour if it's moving. And it's fairly accurate as well and fast on the reload. The bad thing is it's got a poor alpha on the 155mm. A large profile, which makes it easier to spot. And the crew setup is different as well. Going for the Lion. Fires the round in. Direct hit! 283 off that one. Oh, the Lion did take a big hit there, right in the side as he was relocating. We're going for the Halluf one. Fires it in. Direct hit. 216 hit points off that one and stun. And he took a massive 777 on stun assist there. So this is a good game for him. Guy's a one shot. An HE round will probably kill him. Oh, it didn't hit him, but it stunned him there. They could probably hit that 50 TP, even though he's hiding behind the rock. He's accurate enough that he could hit him. Rounds out. Direct hit on the turret. 164. Now we're even with the enemy at the moment. 4-all. And you notice how he's relocating after most shots. He stays around just long enough to get a couple of shots in, then changes position to avoid the enemy getting shots on him. You can see where that shell landed. It actually hit the cupola of the 50 TP. And the next shot actually hit the engine deck. Tier 10 game with tier 9 tanks in it. So he's bottom tier in this one, which means he gets 10% extra for every tier 10 that he hits. We're reloading and ready to go. He obviously was busy with something there. Probably stopped to take a cup of coffee or something of that nature. Fires around him blind. Hits the ridgeline instead. Very narrow target to try and hit that lion. And the T-57 Heavy is now one shot. In fact, he's only got 3 hit points left, which means he would go down with the next hit. Okay, switching back for the 50 TP. Fully dialed in, rounds out, and lands behind him, but still stuns him. It's a bit of a stalemate at the moment. The enemy doesn't have full possession of the northwest corner of the map, but it is the most important corner, and he's still pumping those rounds in. And this time round, he does get a hit on the 50 TP for 155. Now, the M53 was actually used by the US Marine Corps. The M55 was actually used by the US Army, but they both shared the same engine. It's a Continental 12-cylinder, 4-cycle V-type engine, 810 horsepower at 2,800 revs. They made the prototype in 1952. It was a bit too late for the Korean War, but it definitely was early enough for the Vietnam one, but of course it wasn't in service by them. What they would do was they'd actually... Oh, we got a blind hit there. What they'd actually do to manufacture one is they take a pattern tank off the production line, the M47 pattern, whilst it was being built, before it actually had a turret, and then they do relatively few changes to turn it into the M53 or M55. This involved taking off the return idler at the rear of the vehicle, or what was the front of the original pattern tank, and that's so that the distribution of the recoil could actually be transferred to the ground much easier. And of course they had to put the bulldozer blade in, and that actually helps distribute the recoil as well. Okay, well, the enemy's pushing, but they lost a couple of tanks there. They've lost the MX50B. That's a tier 10. The next ones go down will be this T57 Heavy, if we get it right. Yep, lovely shot. And in fact, 2 tanks went down simultaneously there, because they also lost their Lion. And now they're in a whole world of trouble because some of their tanks are very low on hit points. They managed to make the move to push out, but by doing so, they lost a lot of hit points in the process. But there's still 2 tanks ahead of us. And we can see an enemy Leopard has managed to get fairly close, but he's very low on hit points. Very low. Okay, there's the Wizzy 111. We fire a round in, and he's out the game. That's a second kill for StuInTokyo, and it saves the mouse the trouble. Now we've got that T100 LT. He's a lot closer, but we've got 2 tanks in position to take him out. A Strib 103B and a Waffenträger. We're now moving to a position where we can fire on the enemy from behind this ridgeline. Okay, waiting. We're loaded, ready to go. Got no shot on the 50 TP just yet, but if he keeps backing up like this, we will have a shot on him. Rounds out. Yep, direct hit for 232, and he goes down immediately afterwards, and we pick up 258 stun assist. The next thing is the Heshbarn, and he's a one-shot as well. If we can hit the turret, we can take him out with 1 shot. He's somewhere in there. There he is. Oh, he's gone. Now, and the Leopard 1's gone, and now we've got a terrific advantage. We're up by 2 vehicles. They've only got the Death Star, the FB215B 183, and the T100 LT, and of course their Arty, the M53, M55. So that T100 LT was last seen in the valley, and there's the Death Star. He's actually very close to us, but he's still in the valley, trying to get up over the edge. Trying to get a shot on him. Yes, we have got a shot. And it's a direct hit with that one. He's changing position immediately. Doesn't want the Death Star to try and take one back. He'd get wiped out by the Death Star's 183mm, but he doesn't need to worry about that. The Minotauro just killed the Death Star with that shot, and he's picked up more stun assist. So now there's only 2 enemies remaining, the T100 LT and the M53 M55. Now he's looking in the corner of the map, and yes, he's right, because there is the enemy Arty. He's up in that corner. Now, typically the best thing to do is you're firing at the enemy Arty, you need to keep moving about, and the enemy T100 LT has just been wiped out, so his teammates are now going after this Arty. But the enemy Arty is probably looking for you, trying to work out where you are. He fired the second round into the same area. This is where that reload comes in really handy, because he's very fast with the reload compared to the 8-inch howitzer. Now he's trying to get over there as well. And he's reloaded and ready to shoot again. He's looking on the ground where those, you can see the marks on the ground where those last shells went off. Just a little to the left. That's about right. He's looking for the tracer as well, waiting for the enemy Arty to be spotted. The Strib's moving in. He should spot him very, very shortly. And if the Strib doesn't kill him, we will. There he is. Rounds out. And we get the kill. And the Strib picks up the spotting assist off that one. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the first class tanker for StuInTokyo in the M53 M55. He got a Bruce medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in that game. He managed to get 11, and he got a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by teammates. His win rate from that one, 3,632, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the Leopard 1 on the enemy team with 3,976 hit points. Second highest damage was the T100 LT on the enemy team, got 3,510 hit points. And the third highest, well, that was the Strip 103B we saw at the end of the game, who did the spotting for us, and that guy got 3,406 hit points of damage, and also picked up a Confederate as well. When it came to StuInTokyo, he got 2,829. He was beaten by 3 members of the enemy team. 3 members of his own team places him 7th when it comes to damage. When it comes to kills, though, he shares the top spot because the Mouse got 3, and he also got a Steel Wall. StuInTokyo got 3, and the Minotauro got 3 as well. And the only player on the enemy team managed to get 3, that was the T100 LT. In joint second place, we can see the Waffenträger Alpha Panzer IV. He managed to get 2 kills, and so did the Leopard 1 and the Death Star on the enemy team. The Strip 103B, he also, well, I mentioned that, he actually got a Confederate out of that one. The Concept 5 got a cool-headed, and the Sharp Future 4 also got a cool-headed in that game. When it came to base XP, you can see he's second, just beaten by the Mouse, who got 1,107. And Stu managed to get 1,047. They were the only 2 managed to get over 1,000 base. The next highest in third place was the T95, the Doom Turtle, who got 888. He fired 24 rounds. You can fire a lot more rounds of the 155mm because you've got a shorter reload. You've also got more shells. He's got 11 direct hits, and one of those was a penetrating shot, and he got 19 splash. Now, the penetrating shot, without doubt, must have been the enemy Arty right at the end of the game. Yep, direct hit, 450 hit points, 1 shot, went right through him and blew him to pieces. He also got 2,829 hit points, of which 2,635 were at more than 300 meters. The close shot was actually on the Death Star, as he tried to come up onto the sides of the valley of the hill, out of the valley. He actually exposed himself to fire, and Stu was able to put a round into his side. 9 enemy vehicles were damaged, 3 were killed. He got 451 hit points of stun assist, damage assist rather, and 2,285 hit points of stun assist out of that game, as well as 16 stuns. On a free-to-play account, he actually made 9,194 credits profit, and he also took away 1,047 base XP out of that one as well. So very well done there to StuInTokyo, but it's not the only replay he sent us. He sent us another one, so let's have a look at that game. The second replay is on the Overlord map, and we're on the North Spawn. Alongside us is an Object 261. Game on! Stu headed for the absolute edge of the battlefield. A lot of tanks actually complain about Arty using the red line and sitting at the back, but it's mainly because we're so vulnerable to enemy fire. Okay, he's aiming for the quarter. The bowl in the tree goes down, and that was a pretty good shot there, right onto the base of that tree. So if somebody knocked it down, somebody must have been there to take that shell. And in fact, we can now see that there was an enemy tank there, but I don't think that was the one who knocked the tree down. It's a Progetto 46. He's showing no damage whatsoever from the shot, so presumably he wasn't within the blast radius. But I think there was another tank on that corner who did take the hit. We lost sight of the Progetto. Stu's looking for the enemy tank that was seen over in this corner. It was a medium tank. And there he is. It's a T-44-100. That's a Tier 8 Soviet premium medium. And he gets a direct hit for 181 off that shot alone. Now, the Object 261 who was with him has actually relocated to the west. Stu's heading in that direction. I think that's partially because some of the enemy tanks are trying to push on the east side of the map. And he probably feels safer over here. Okay, this is a good spot to fire from. Out of sight of the enemy. Well, there's that T-44-100. He's down to just 2 hit points now. Rounds up. Oh, that was a direct hit. But we didn't get the kill. The Leopard prototype got the kill just ahead of us. So although he fired very accurately, unfortunately, he doesn't get a kill from that one. There's now an AMX CDA 105 over in that corner. Fires the round in. And picks up 121 hit points. And the 261 fires a shell in, gets 281. And now the guy's on one shot. He's got 4 hit points left. He's going to be very unhappy about that. Especially as it means now technically he has to fall back. If he doesn't fall back, he's going to be dead very quickly. There's that Progetto. Moving. Can we get a shot? He's thinking about popping up. We've got a red line showing we've got some obstruction in the way, but we fired the second round in. Oh, and it's a direct hit. Right on target. He picked up 244 hit points off that Progetto. There he is. He's gone into the bowl. Testing his luck. Rounds out. And this time round, he does go down, but we got stun assist off that one. So we must have stunned him just before he was killed by the Object 261. There's the CDA, and he's not smart enough to realize that he has to fall back now. He hasn't got enough hit points to stay alive. He really should be shooting from the back of the map. Way too dangerous for him to be up front. This is a tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks in it. It's got a Conway now. Rounds out. Lands short. Hits the ridgeline, I'm afraid. Looking down on the beach at the moment. Doesn't appear to be any tanks that we can shoot at. Or literally that we can see. Oh, there is one down there. It's a Pershing. And there's 104 hit points. Nice bit of stun. The one thing you can say about the 155mm gun on the M53, M55 is that it actually acts very much like the M12's 155mm gun. So it's got a reasonably fast fire rate and accurate. And that means that if you're good with the M12, you will be good with the 155 on the M53. Well, we heard an artillery shell move over, so we didn't see where the tracer came from, though. But now we've got a G-Saw in just outside the bowl, and he's missing some hit points. That might have been the tank that we actually hit at the start of the game, but we've definitely hit him now. And in fact, that was a blind hit, but it definitely did some damage. The G-Saw 1008 does have fairly thin armor. There's the Conway again. Fires the round in. Oh, that was a direct hit as well. There was no explosion, so he definitely contacted the guy. He's definitely getting some good shots in, and he's got the communications expert working as well for him now, because he's got over enough stun assist. And there's the Pershing, and he's now a one shot, or a splash kill actually. So if he can get the shell in close enough, well, he's taken another 42 hit points off him, left him with only 10 hit points. Even a tank HE round will be enough to take the guy out. And in fact, that shell was from the Object 261, who was thinking to himself, yes, if I land that shell on top of the landing craft, maybe the Pershing sitting right next door to it will expire out of fright more than anything. There he is. Is he trying to run away yet? Well, no, but the 261's definitely trying to nail him. So we'll take the advantage there and splash kill him. Yep, he got the kill this time. I'm pretty sure the Object 261 was taking advantage of Stu's shooting to actually strip him down and get that last few hit points. So we're 3 up on the enemy at the moment, but there's still a lot of enemy out there, 9 of them. We just can't see them because our guys aren't spotting them. The only enemy tank in sight is the Emil 2, and he's down on the beach. From this position, we can't get a shot down onto the beach, onto the Emil, as much as we'd like to, but we can possibly hit that 60 TP that's just come into sight. We've got 1 round of stun HE left. This time round, he's packing the extra HE, which of course will do more damage, but you have to get direct hits or get very accurate. 750 alpha and 49mm of pen. Okay, this is where it gets fun. The Emil's gone, but he can probably hit that 60 TP, or at least give him a bit of a headache. That's the last of our stun shells. You can also see that Stu has actually put a couple of rounds of armor piercing in there as well, just in case he gets the opportunity. Now, the armor piercing are capable of 420 alpha, but they've got 282mm of pen. So, yeah, they will go through the side of an enemy tank. But that one hit the guy. And he picked up, well, a lot of assist out of that one. And he blew up. The kill shot came in from our GSAW 1008, but he got loads of damage assist out of that one. There's the enemy Arty trying to make a run for it. Let it settle. Rounds out. And it was close, but he doesn't get anything from that one. Now, as long as that 704 stays within the chine, we can't hit him. But he's coming out of the chine, so we can hit him now if he's spotted. Okay, he stops to take a shot. We fire. And that does do damage. 260 hit points he's tracked, but unfortunately we did lose our A phase 2. Or A phase 1, I should say. But this 704 is probably not going to last very long because we've got a T-13 nearby. Now he fires a round in. Gets close, but not close enough. GeForce 1008. If he fires at this moment, he will absolutely nail that guy. Rounds out. Yes! Second kill for Stu. Right on target. Completely devastated him. He's reloading to take on the convoy, and he's now one shot as well. He could take this guy out with one good shot. Rounds out. It hits the building. That's so unfortunate. If that'd been a little more accurate, but he can't help that. It's RNG. The convoy comes into sight again. Now he's almost reloaded. But the convoy goes down, and now there's only 2 enemies remaining. But there's only 4 left on our team. And 2 of those are Arty. The Object 704 goes down. That leaves the last enemy as a Kari. Now, we did see him somewhere in this vicinity. He's gone out of sight. He's hiding amongst these trees here. Our guys need to move up. And I think this is where we use the speed of this vehicle. That 56.3 kilometers an hour, move closer to the enemy. That was the 2-minute siren. Really, one of our guys should be capping at this moment to try and force that guy to come. And oh no, the Kari's just got a kill. He just took out our Leopard prototype. Rounds out. He moved and changed direction at the last second. Now he's getting closer to actually shorten the time between shooting and hitting the target. We can see who the craters are, so we know where he fired. And there's the Kari. He's in sight. He's trying to keep our teammate in sight as well. We get a shot. The tower of that church was in the way. Oh, we got him with a blind kill. That wins the game. That was a kill shot and a half from StuInTokyo. Well, as Stu said, that one was a real nail-biter towards the end. He got a second-class tanker out of that game, as well as a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 10. And he got a Confederate again for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. His win rate this time, though, was only 2,175, which is very good. Let's have a look at the team score. Again, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the T30. This time he got 3,471, followed by the 60 TP on the enemy team, who got 2,871. Third highest went to the Object 704, who managed 2,693. Stu managed 1,925. He was beaten by 3 members of the enemy team, 3 members of his own team, places him 7th on damage. When it came to kills, though, he was actually joint top. Stu got 3 kills, so did the Object 261 on the enemy team and their Kari. And in joint second place, the T30, the AE Phase 1 and the Leopard prototype on our team. And on the enemy team, their Object 704 and Conway both managed 2 kills. When it came to base XP, he's third. The T30 managed 929, the AE Phase 1 got 892, and StuInTokyo got 876. So, yes, one of the top 3 players. He fired 23 rounds, got 7 direct hits, 1 penetration, 20 splash. Damage of 1,925 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. So we have a quick look to see which one he might have actually penetrated. Was it the CDA? No, it wasn't the CDA. What about the GSAW? No, he didn't penetrate that one. So looking down that list, 704? No. The 60 TP? No. How about the Pershing? No. Wasn't even the Conway. It was the Kari, the last shot of the game, the one that killed the Kari, the blind shot. That was the one that killed him. That penetrated through his side and took him out. So good shot. Damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 3. So there's the Confederate. He got 1,167 hit points of damage assist, mostly off that 60 TP because he tracked the guy and he took 3 shots simultaneously and then went out of the game by blowing up. 518 hit points of stun assist off 12 stuns. On a free player count, he actually made a loss of 2,995 credits, but he made 876 base XP out of the game, so he'll be happy for that. So 2 really good games in the M53, M55 from StuInTokyo. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.